yourself and your generation doing something great for God, doing something great, leaving a legacy. Yeah, you can do it. You can leave a legacy. You can leave a legacy. I don't want you just to think about yourself as just the next generation. I want you to see yourself doing something for God. What legacy are you going to leave behind? I want you to be a bold generation. I want when the books are written, they can say, this generation was crazy for God. They were bold. They took the schools back. They took the streets back. They took the cities back. They were not afraid to live unashamed for Christ. That's what something you want written over your life and over your generation. Those who went ahead of us, they have a legacy that they have left. Some was good and some was bad. But let this generation be the one that stir things up and leave a positive mark on this earth. And I don't want you to think you're too young. Before you take your seat, I want to leave you with two quick stories. One of David, the first one, and that might resonate more with the boys. But David was doing stuff great for God even at a young age. We talk about doing things big for God. But I don't want you to think you have to wait until you get to be an adult. You just have to serve God right where you are, in the situation you are. Way before David was king, while he was taking care of his father's business. Way before he was leading a nation. Way before he was leading a nation, he was leading sheep. Way before he was doing all those great things, he was doing little things. Way before he slayed Goliath, he was slaying a lion and a bear who came to take away his father's sheep. And I want especially the boys to know, you don't got to wait till you're 45, 55, 35. David was only 17 and younger when that was happening in his life, right at your age. And I believe if you're faithful doing the little things right now, God is going to begin to do some great things for you. Great things for you, but this is where you start. I don't know what giant you're going to slay in the future, but there's some beasts that you got to slay right now. That you got to take care of your father's business right now, whatever that means right now for you. For David, it was sheep at that young age. For you, it might be something different. I don't know what it might be, but you got to see God on that. Ladies, I don't want you to feel left out. I want to remind you of a story. There is of Moses. Moses was put in a basket at a young age, 2 years old. And he put him in a basket to send him down the river. But it was a little girl, it was his sister. Her name was Miriam. She was the one that went ahead and followed that basket when the slave girl said to go get a midwife. It was Miriam, Moses' own sister, who went ahead and got the mother. And by doing so, she preserved God's plan. Moses was God's deliverer, but way before he was a deliverer, it took a girl. It took his own sister at a young age to make sure she was working the plan of God. She was looking after him and made sure that he got what he needed. And some of you young ladies, don't be distracted right now. Just hear what I'm saying. Right at your young age, when Miriam got older, she's known as a prophetess. If you read this in the book of Exodus, chapter 2, you see that story. But by Exodus chapter 15, way after Moses delivered the people of Israel, Miriam came out playing her tambourine and she was prophesying. By then she was known as a prophetess, but she was doing great things from she was young. It was because of her why Moses was brought back to his mom after he was let down the river. So what I'm saying is start right where you are. Boys and girls, there's enough stories to encourage you to serve God. God wants to use you. But you're not going to jump right into that great big dream, which might not occur for another 10 or 20 years. I don't know. But right where you are right now, there's some little significant roles that you can play. Okay? Two things. One, you need to have a vision for your generation before you take your seat. Have a vision for your generation. How you want it to go down in history. How you want it to go down in history. That's the vision I'm talking about. You can play a part in that. And the second thing is I want everybody here, hear what I'm saying, y'all, have a vision for your youth group. Some of y'all need to have a vision for this youth group right here. Don't just come in and check out and never leave your mark. Don't just come here and check out and never leave a mark. Never do anything that we can look back to and say, oh yeah, in 2010, we had some teenagers in here. They were crazy. They did all kinds of things. They were radical. They praised God like they were crazy. They took flyers. They went to their schools. They invited people. I don't know what it might be. They had a vision. They came with ideas for their youth group. Whatever it might be. They said, hey, let's do this. Let's do this. And they did it. Don't just check in and check out and not leave a legacy for those who are to come. Let them say, what happened in 2010? What happened in 2011? Who was here? Why is this thing off the chain like it is? And it's because of the legacy, the vision you have. Before I go, check this out. In my high school in Cambridge, Massachusetts, one girl came. She was a Native American Indian. She was a Native American Indian. And I went to Cambridge High School. Our logo was Cambridge Warriors. We had an Indian as our mascot with feathers and we used to do that. She was Native American. She came to our high school for 1 year and she spoke out and she said, this is wrong because we're not mascots. And she raised her voice and she did what she did. And the next thing you know, that one lady, one teenager changed the whole school logo from the Cambridge Warriors to the Cambridge Falcons. They had a vote, they had to change it. And what I'm saying is one person. I gave you all biblical examples and this is a real life story. If you want to go on the internet and research Cambridge Ridge in Latin and see what the name was, Cambridge Warriors, one girl did it. One girl, I think she was probably a junior. But she came and she spoke up. Y'all hear what I'm saying? Some of y'all gonna miss it. I'm just trying to show you how powerful you can be at your age. But you gotta look and see the things that God wants to use you to do. Right now, at this age, so that as you go up, you can move on from the next thing. You can say, yeah, I slayed that giant. I did that thing. And as you go up, it only gets better. But you got to start catching that vision. For your youth group, for your generation. Those are the 2 assignments I just spoke. Y'all got that?